This is somewhat a true free agency for LeBron James because he didn't go into it with a calculation in mind, a plan in place, a hierarchy of Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia. Golden State is the team that going into free agency was thought to be one of the leaders.
If you thought this NBA offseason couldn't get any wilder, think again. A surprising moment has basketball fans talking for all the wrong reasons. Imagine one of the biggest architects of the Golden State Warriors dynasty publicly discussing why LeBron James should consider joining another franchise. That's exactly what happened, and it caught almost everyone off guard. The person at the center of the conversation is Bob Myers, the former Warriors general manager who helped build championship teams around Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Seeing him speak openly about LeBron's future was unexpected enough, but the setting made it even more shocking. Myers appeared on a podcast hosted by Rich Paul, LeBron James' longtime agent and one of the most influential figures in the NBA. During the discussion, Myers outlined why the Philadelphia 76ers could be an attractive destination if LeBron ever decided to leave Los Angeles. That immediately raised eyebrows across the league. Conversations about superstar free agents usually happen behind closed doors. Team executives rarely make public recruiting pitches, especially when a player is still under contract. Yet here was Myers sharing his thoughts in front of cameras for everyone to hear. The situation becomes even more interesting once you consider Myers' current position. He is no longer only an NBA analyst. He now serves as president of sports for Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, the ownership group behind the Philadelphia 76ers. Because of that role, many fans questioned whether his comments crossed a line or simply reflected his personal opinion. The timing has only added to the speculation. Reports suggest LeBron isn't expected to hold traditional free agent meetings, meaning any conversations about his future are likely to happen through Rich Paul. That makes this public discussion feel far more significant than a typical podcast appearance. Even more intriguing is the date. 16 years ago, on July 8, LeBron James changed the NBA forever with one televised announcement that reshaped the league. Now, on nearly the same date, another headline involving his future has reignited debate, leaving fans wondering whether history could be preparing to repeat itself in a completely different way.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
The NBA offseason has suddenly turned into one of the most unpredictable storylines we've seen in years, and once again, LeBron James is right at the center of it. Even after spending more than 2 decades in the league, his future continues to dominate headlines, with every rumor creating another wave of speculation across the basketball world. What's surprising is that this situation almost feels bigger than some of the biggest free agency moments of his career. Fans, analysts, and even former executives are openly debating where he could end up next. New reports continue to emerge, while every interview and podcast appearance seems to add another twist to the story. One moment, in particular, has captured everyone's attention. Bob Myers, the former Golden State Warriors general manager, who helped build one of the greatest dynasties in modern basketball, recently appeared on a podcast hosted by Rich Paul and Max Kellerman. On the surface, it looked like a normal basketball discussion, but once Myers began talking about LeBron's future, fans immediately realized this wasn't an ordinary interview. The biggest reason is Myers' current position after leaving the Warriors organization. Myers spent time working as an NBA analyst. However, he has since accepted a leadership role with Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, the ownership group behind the Philadelphia 76ers. That means his comments carry much more weight than those of a television analyst. He's now part of an organization that could potentially benefit if LeBron ever decided to change teams. Throughout the conversation, Myers explained why Philadelphia could be an ideal situation for a veteran superstar. Instead of making a direct recruiting pitch, he highlighted the team's competitive roster, championship ambitions, and the opportunity to compete immediately. Even though he never guaranteed anything, many viewers interpreted his comments as a clear attempt to present the Sixers as an attractive destination. That's what made the interview so unusual. Normally, discussions involving superstar players happen privately. Team executives, agents, and front offices rarely discuss potential moves in public, especially while a player remains under contract. Public recruiting has always been a sensitive topic around the NBA, which is why Myers' appearance quickly became one of the league's biggest talking points. another reason fans are paying such close attention is Rich Paul's role in all of this. As LeBron James' longtime agent and trusted business partner, Rich Paul is involved in nearly every major decision surrounding LeBron's career. If teams want to express interest or understand what LeBron may be thinking, conversations often begin through Paul. Because of that, many fans viewed this podcast as more than casual basketball discussion. Whether that interpretation is fair or not, it certainly fueled speculation online. Social media quickly exploded with reactions. Some fans argued Myers crossed an unwritten line by discussing another team's superstar so openly. Others believed he was simply sharing basketball opinions like he has done throughout his media career. Either way, the interview succeeded in getting everyone talking. Adding even more intrigue is the timing. LeBron's future has become one of the league's biggest unanswered questions. Despite his age, he continues to perform at an elite level and remains capable of changing a franchise's championship outlook almost overnight. Any team with enough flexibility would immediately become a serious contender if it somehow landed him. Philadelphia naturally enters those conversations because of its talented core and championship aspirations. Pairing LeBron with an already competitive roster would instantly transform expectations, creating one of the league's most experienced and dangerous lineups. Still, none of that guarantees a move is actually coming to this stage. There has been no official announcement suggesting LeBron intends to leave Los Angeles. Much of the discussion remains based on speculation, interviews, and educated guesses rather than confirmed negotiations. That's an important distinction, because off-season rumors often move much faster than reality. Even so, the NBA has seen unexpected moves before. LeBron's career has already included several decisions that reshaped the league. From leaving Cleveland for Miami to eventually returning home and later joining the Lakers. Every time his future becomes uncertain, the basketball world pays attention because history has shown that one decision can completely change the balance of power across the NBA. For now, all eyes remain on LeBron James, whether he stays in Los Angeles or eventually explores another opportunity. One thing is certain: every public comment, every interview, and every rumor will continue to be analyzed until an official decision is finally made. Until then, the speculation isn't slowing down anytime soon.
If you're talking about the Sixers, I honestly believe this is your best chance to win. If it's about winning, let's talk about this team, because you can win here in Philadelphia.
Bob Myers made a comment that instantly grabbed attention. If LeBron's priority is winning, there may be other options worth considering. That single phrase became the focus of the entire conversation because of who was saying it. Myers, the executive who helped build Golden State's championship dynasty, was sitting across from LeBron's longtime agent while discussing potential fits for the future. The moment felt surreal to many NBA fans. Instead of talking about a possible Warriors reunion, the discussion shifted toward Philadelphia as a serious destination. Even Max Kellerman acknowledged on air how unusual it was to hear such a direct argument presented in a public setting.
We're on a show and we're talking LeBron. The guy who runs the Sixers is here. Oh, God.
The conversation became even more interesting when Rich Paul made it clear that no one, not executives, analysts, or fans, will determine LeBron James' future except LeBron himself. That reminder quickly shifted the focus back to where the decision ultimately belongs. Bob Myers also downplayed the significance of his comments, suggesting they were simply part of a basketball discussion. Still, many fans found it hard to ignore the timing and setting. With Myers now connected to the Philadelphia 76ers ownership group, every word he says is naturally going to attract attention. What makes Philadelphia such a hot topic is how dramatically its roster has changed. After completing a major trade, the Sixers suddenly look like a much stronger championship contender than they did just weeks ago. Their core now features Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, and Joel Embiid, giving the team one of the league's most talented foundations. Because of that, speculation surrounding LeBron has only intensified. Some reports claim Philadelphia is seriously exploring the possibility of adding another superstar, while others believe the rumors are simply a product of off-season excitement. Regardless of what happens, one thing is certain: whenever LeBron's name enters the conversation, every move, every comment, and every rumor immediately becomes one of the biggest stories in the NBA.
When the Sixers got Jaylen Brown, he's taking their pitch really seriously.
As speculation surrounding LeBron James continues to grow, one question keeps coming up: why hasn't he made a decision yet? With so many rumors circulating, fans are wondering why there haven't been public meetings or any major announcements. The reality is that LeBron has always handled free agency differently from most NBA superstars. Rather than rushing into a decision, he typically waits until he's gathered all the information he needs before making his next move. That patient approach has become a defining part of his career. Looking back, every major free agency chapter has unfolded in its own unique way. In 2010, the basketball world watched one of the most talked about decisions in sports history. 4 years later, when LeBron became a free agent again, the process was much quieter. Teams across the league reportedly expressed interest, but LeBron stayed silent until he revealed his decision in a personal essay announcing his return to Cleveland. When he joined the Lakers in 2018, the approach changed once again. Instead of a dramatic television special or a lengthy announcement, the news arrived through a brief statement, proving that there is no predictable pattern when it comes to his career decisions. That's why many NBA insiders aren't surprised by the current silence. They believe LeBron prefers to evaluate every option privately before revealing anything publicly. Until he makes an official announcement, every interview, report, and rumor will continue to fuel debate across the league. For now, all anyone can do is speculate. History has shown that LeBron rarely follows the expectations of fans or the media, and when his decision finally arrives, it usually comes on his own terms, not anyone else's timetable.
It's all one-way information, and this is how his previous free agencies have operated. Just nobody has known.
LeBron James has once again become the biggest name of the NBA offseason. And this time, the conversation isn't centered on money, it's centered on one question: where does he believe he has the best chance to win another championship? As free agency continues, fans are growing impatient, wondering why no official decision has been announced. But if you've followed LeBron's career for years, this pattern isn't unusual. He has never rushed the biggest choices of his career. Instead, he prefers to gather information, evaluate every opportunity, and make his decision when he believes the timing is right. That patience has allowed speculation to take over the league. Every day without an announcement creates new rumors. Analysts debate possible destinations, insiders release fresh reports, and every public appearance involving LeBron or people close to him immediately becomes headline news. One of the biggest talking points recently came from Bob Myers. As the former general manager, who helped build the Warriors into a dynasty, Myers carries enormous credibility around the NBA, but today, he also holds a leadership position with Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, the ownership group behind the Philadelphia 76ers. Because of that role, his comments about LeBron's future attracted far more attention than a typical basketball discussion. Many fans viewed Philadelphia as an unlikely destination just weeks ago. However, after major roster changes, the Sixers suddenly look like a legitimate contender, with stars like Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey already in place. Adding another superstar would immediately put them among the favorites to compete for a title. Of course, Philadelphia isn't the only team connected to LeBron. Cleveland continues to appear in rumors because of the emotional possibility of one final run where his NBA career began. Golden State remains an intriguing option because of the idea of pairing LeBron with Stephen Curry, while Miami is often mentioned thanks to its winning culture and championship experience. Interestingly, none of these teams can rely on money alone to convince him. At this point in LeBron's career, financial considerations are believed to be far less important than finding the best basketball situation. If winning another championship is truly the priority, roster fit, coaching, and overall competitiveness will likely matter much more than salary. That's why league executives continue exploring every possible path. Teams are evaluating contracts, considering trades, and looking for creative ways to free up cap space in case LeBron becomes available. Even small roster moves are being examined because they could influence whether a championship-caliber team has enough flexibility to pursue another superstar. Another major topic involves LeBron's role on his next team. Even though he continues to perform at an elite level, any franchise pursuing him must decide how to maximize his strengths while building around its existing stars. Finding the right balance between experienced veterans and younger talent could ultimately determine whether a championship run is realistic. Meanwhile, fans continue analyzing every interview and social media post for hidden clues. A single comment from an executive or insider quickly becomes a trending topic, showing just how much attention LeBron still commands after more than 2 decades in the NBA. The truth is that no one outside LeBron's inner circle knows exactly what he is thinking. Reports may point in different directions, but until an official announcement is made, everything remains speculation. What we do know is that whichever team eventually earns his commitment will instantly become one of the biggest stories in basketball. A player of LeBron's caliber can still transform a contender into a legitimate championship favorite almost overnight. For now, the waiting continues. Every passing day adds another layer to the mystery, and every rumor fuels even more debate. Whether LeBron chooses to stay where he is or begins a completely new chapter elsewhere, one thing is certain: his decision will shape the NBA landscape once again and become one of the defining moments of this offseason.
You're not wrong. You're 50% right in what you said in terms of just psychologically. Obviously, I'm not the third option. We know that. No day.
One of the biggest questions surrounding LeBron James this offseason isn't just which team he could join, it's what role he expects to play wherever he goes next. Recent comments from people close to LeBron have sparked plenty of discussion. While no one has confirmed where he'll end up, one message seems consistent: LeBron still believes he can be a major focal point on a championship-caliber team. Even at this stage of his career, he doesn't appear interested in becoming a limited-role veteran whose responsibilities are reduced simply because of his age. That debate became even louder after the Lakers' season came to an end. Throughout the year, Los Angeles experimented with different lineups and offensive approaches. At times, the team relied more heavily on other playmakers, leading some analysts to question whether LeBron's role had changed more than expected. Opinions on that topic are divided. Some believe reducing LeBron's workload helped preserve his energy and allowed the offense to become more balanced. Others argue that taking the ball out of his hands too often limited one of the greatest playmakers the game has ever seen. Statistics can support different arguments depending on which numbers are emphasized, which is why fans continue debating whether the Lakers found the right balance. Basketball is rarely explained by one metric alone, especially when evaluating a player with LeBron's experience and impact. What's clear is that any team hoping to add LeBron must have a vision for how he fits into its system. He's no longer expected to carry every possession the way he did earlier in his career, but he remains one of the league's smartest decision makers and can still influence games in countless ways. That's one reason organizations linked to him continue exploring every possibility. They aren't just asking whether LeBron can help them win, they're also considering how to maximize his strengths without disrupting the chemistry they've already built. As the offseason continues, that balance could become one of the biggest factors in LeBron's decision. Championship aspirations, roster fit, coaching philosophy, and his on-court responsibilities may ultimately matter far more than contract numbers. Until an official decision is announced, those questions will continue driving one of the NBA's biggest off-season storylines.
If he chooses somebody besides Cleveland or Miami, because Cleveland and Miami, it's a very clean decision. It makes sense. Does he want to deal with people calling him a ring chaser or what have you? I think that's an extra layer.
LeBron James' next decision could shape more than just the championship race. It could also influence how fans remember the final chapter of his career. Returning to familiar teams like Cleveland or Miami would be easy for many supporters to accept because of the championships and history he shares with both organizations. Choosing a franchise like Philadelphia, however, would create a very different conversation. Some would view it as another bold pursuit of a title, while others would question the move so late in his career. Ultimately, only LeBron can decide whether legacy, opportunity, or another championship matters most at this stage.
If he goes to Philly, people gonna say he's ring chasing to catch Michael. If he goes to Golden State, they're gonna say he's ring chasing.
There are two very different ways to look at LeBron James' current situation, and both have sparked intense debate among NBA fans. The first perspective is simple. After everything he's accomplished, LeBron may no longer feel the need to prove anything. With multiple championships, MVP awards, scoring records, and a career that will be remembered among the greatest in basketball history, he has already secured his place in the sport. If that's his mindset, then his next decision could be based entirely on what gives him the best chance to enjoy the final years of his career while competing for another title. The other perspective focuses on something that has followed LeBron throughout his entire journey, his legacy. Every major move he has made has been analyzed, debated, and compared with the careers of other all-time greats. Because of that history, many believe public perception will still influence whatever decision comes next. That's why several potential destinations continue to generate discussion. Some teams offer a familiar environment and established relationships, while others present an opportunity to join an already talented roster capable of competing for a championship immediately. Reports and speculation continue to connect LeBron with different contenders, but until he personally announces his plans, no outcome is guaranteed. Every rumor should be viewed with caution. For now, the biggest mystery isn't whether LeBron can still compete at an elite level, it's which opportunity best matches his priorities. Whether those priorities are another championship, the right basketball fit, or adding another memorable chapter to his remarkable career remains one of the NBA's biggest unanswered questions.
LeBron went to Cleveland? LeBron signed with Cleveland. Bro, is this real?
I don't know, but they're spamming it.
Come on, man, don't do this, man. Give me a heart attack.
While many fans continue focusing on earlier predictions about LeBron James' possible destinations, the situation appears to be changing quickly. NBA insiders suggest that recent developments have shifted the outlook, with some teams gaining momentum while others have quietly fallen behind. In a free agency race like this, new information can completely reshape expectations within days. That's why many analysts believe the latest reports deserve more attention than older projections, as the picture surrounding LeBron's future continues to evolve.
I look at it when I talk to teams now as kind of a hierarchy of Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, and then I think there's some teams on the periphery.
For a while, many fans believed the Golden State Warriors were the favorites to land LeBron James. That idea spread quickly across social media. But recent reports suggest the situation may not be as straightforward as it first appeared, according to several NBA insiders. Golden State is no longer viewed as the clear frontrunner. In fact, there are growing indications that the Warriors themselves recognize how difficult a deal could be unless they make significant changes to their roster. One of the biggest rumors involves the possibility of adding another established star before making a serious push for LeBron. While that sounds exciting in theory, executing a move of that size would likely require sacrificing valuable draft assets and key players. For any franchise, that's a major gamble, complicating matters further. Reports indicate that teams connected to those rumored trade targets may have little interest in moving them at all, even if Golden State wanted to build a blockbuster package. Another organization would still need to agree that the deal makes sense. As a result, the Warriors' path appears much more complicated than many originally expected. While they remain linked to LeBron and ongoing speculation, there are several obstacles standing in the way of a realistic move. With free agency continuing to evolve, the picture could still change. Until official decisions are announced, every report should be treated as part of an unfolding story rather than a guaranteed outcome.
And with AD again, he wants to be here, we want him here. We'll have that conversation in the middle of August when we can officially have that.
Golden State hasn't disappeared from the LeBron James conversation, but the road to making a deal appears increasingly difficult. League insiders suggest the Warriors are still exploring every possible option to strengthen their roster and improve their chances. Reports have also linked Draymond Green to ongoing conversations with LeBron, fueling speculation that Golden State is continuing its recruitment behind the scenes. However, those meetings shouldn't automatically be viewed as evidence that a deal is close. NBA analysts have pointed out that players often stay in contact during the offseason, and those relationships don't necessarily reveal a future decision. Until LeBron publicly announces his plans, every rumored meeting and roster move remains just one piece of a much larger offseason puzzle.
One free agent out there, LeBron James, and he's shown some interest in being a Golden State Warrior potentially. Any idea or comment on that idea of playing with LeBron James?
Say more so, I'm interested to just play golf with LeBron. We'll handle the basketball stuff, but I want to see the golf LeBron free agent.
As the offseason continues, Cleveland remains one of the most intriguing teams connected to LeBron James. While much of the attention has focused on other contenders, the Cavaliers have quietly built a roster capable of competing at a high level. A major development came when Donovan Mitchell committed his long-term future to the franchise. His decision gives Cleveland stability around one of the league's top guards and signals confidence in the organization's direction. Some fans have even wondered whether that commitment could make the Cavaliers a more attractive destination for another superstar. Although there is no official indication that the extension was made with LeBron in mind. At the same time, Cleveland's salary cap decisions have fueled additional speculation about what the front office may be planning. Whether those moves are connected to LeBron or simply part of a broader team-building strategy remains unclear for now. The Cavaliers continue to be mentioned in league discussions, but until any official announcement is made, the connection remains speculation rather than confirmed fact.
I talk to people in Philly, I'm like, what do you think? And they're like, we're afraid it's Cleveland.
As the rumors continue, Cleveland has quietly become one of the most frequently mentioned destinations for LeBron James. Some league observers believe the Cavaliers have gained momentum, while others remain unconvinced and point out that predictions have changed several times already during the offseason. That's what makes this situation so fascinating. New reports seem to reshape the conversation every few days. Even respected NBA insiders acknowledge that much of the speculation is based on limited information rather than confirmed decisions. Until LeBron makes an official announcement, every projected landing spot should be viewed as exactly that, speculation.
On your trip?
Yeah, he told me, but I can't tell anybody. I know the whole plan, me, him, and Rich Paul, we've been talking.
As the speculation reaches its peak, one thing has become clear. Almost everyone has an opinion about where LeBron James will play next. But very few people actually know the answer. Former teammates, television analysts, and NBA insiders continue to share their predictions, each pointing toward a different destination. Some believe LeBron could reunite with a former franchise, while others think a completely new chapter is still possible. Until an official announcement is made, every prediction should be treated as educated speculation rather than fact. When you look beyond the daily headlines, several factors seem likely to shape his decision. The first is championship opportunity. At this point in his career, competing for another title is almost certainly more important than securing the biggest possible contract. The second is basketball fit. LeBron has always thrived in systems that allow him to make plays, lead the offense, and maximize the strengths of the players around him. Then there's legacy. Every move LeBron makes is analyzed through the lens of history. Whether that influences his thinking is something only he truly knows. But it's impossible to ignore the conversations surrounding how his final NBA years will be remembered. If I had to make a prediction today, Cleveland would still feel like one of the most logical possibilities. The Cavaliers have developed into a strong team with a talented core, and a return to the franchise where LeBron began his career would create a memorable full-circle ending. At the same time, teams like Miami and Philadelphia remain intriguing because they offer different paths toward competing for a championship. Of course, predictions can change quickly during the NBA offseason. One trade, one contract, or one unexpected announcement can completely reshape the landscape overnight. Until LeBron speaks publicly, every rumor is simply another piece of the puzzle. That's what makes this story so compelling. Nobody outside his inner circle knows how it will end. Now it's your turn. Which team do you think gives LeBron the best chance to compete for another championship? And where do you believe he'll ultimately decide to play? Share your thoughts below, and let's see whose prediction comes closest when the decision is finally announced.